Well, hello, Clarice. Does this scare you? Does it? Does this symbol scare you? Because I find it draws out fear in people when I wear it. And I believe that I am a good guide to help you cross the bridge so you're not scared of this anymore. I think that's what I'm being led to do here. See, to me, this represents your birthright. The fact that we're all ruling over our own internal kingdom, and that there's always someone watching. And to not fear Big Brother, because it's really Big Mama. Because to me, this means the subconscious. There's always someone watching, the all-seeing eye. We all have one. There's nowhere for you to run, there's nowhere for you to hide, because this is always on. It's always watching. It's always watching. So what you do in private really matters. Who are you? Who are you really? Because you can't hide from yourself. And that's what this means. I have a really funny story about a rooster. I live in Texas, and I was driving my daughter to school, and there was this rooster in a cage on the side of the road. Right next to the road, man. Fast moving traffic. And I was like, okay, somebody is gonna buy this rooster, because it said rooster for sale. I just trusted. Well, a couple of weeks went by, this freaking beautiful rusty colored rooster, gorgeous rooster. He was just out there in the traffic with these cars rushing by. It was really starting to piss me off, because on this day it was raining, and I know what it's like to feel trapped and not be able to get away. And I just felt sorry for him. So I decided upon dropping my daughter off that I was going to go get this rooster. I have no business with a rooster, but I was going to go get this rooster because he needed my help. No one else was going to get this rooster. So I stopped by this little feed store on the way home to make arrangements for this rooster, because I, quite frankly, am terrified of roosters. I have a history with roosters. They've chased me around before as a child, and then in my adult life, one tried to mount me, for fuck's sake. I was in the yard, my mother had roosters, and I bent down to look at this really cool beetle on the ground, and he jumped on my back and just started doing this shit. So, they're scary. They scare me. Roosters, they've got these big spurs, and they're scary. And they should be. They've earned, they have to be. But, so I went to the feed store, and I asked if I could just bring the rooster to this guy who owned the feed store, and I made arrangements, and he said that's fine, blah blah blah. He looked like a cockfighter, and I made sure, I was like, you're not gonna fight this cock, are you? Or you're not gonna fight this rooster, are you? And he assured me he wouldn't. I had my doubts though. So I made arrangements, then I went down the road, not even a quarter of a mile, that's how close these places were, and I pulled up, and sure enough, the wife was outside taking out the trash, and I said, will you take $20 for this rooster? And she said, sure, let me call my husband. So she called her husband, and she got back with me. She came to my car because it was raining, and she said, sure. He said, just go get him. And I'm like, okay, I'll go grab that rooster. Man, if you've ever like been with a rooster, these things are scary. Especially young alpha roosters like this one. This one was like a cocky rooster, you know? So I I went to try to get him. Of course I couldn't. He was scared of me. I was scared of him. And I told her that I couldn't get him, and she called her husband. He was down the road getting something in town, and he would be right back. And I gave her my phone number. This story. By calling her, so she would have my number. Well, as I was pulling out, I hit end on the phone, and I'm driving down the road. And oftentimes I talk with myself because we're just really good friends. Like, and I do voices like Mrs. Doubtfire, like Robin Williams. I do voices. And I said, "That's just the cock I'm gonna get." And because I've been celibate for like a decade, and I'm like, that's just the cock I'm gonna get. And my phone had called her phone, and it recorded me saying that, and she thought I had a demonic possession with me. She thought I had these demons with me, okay? So I get home, and she calls me, and she says, "Look, girl, I don't know what's going on, but you need to get some sage, and you need to start praying, and you need to start fasting, because I heard two of them. I heard two of them. There's two of them with you." And I actually kind of got pulled into the story because I didn't remember saying that. I was just in my car like, "Ooh, yeah, that's just the cock I'm gonna get." And she played it back for me, and I still didn't remember that that's what happened until way later, and then I put the two and two together. So she's making me think that I've got all these attachments and things trying to get me. And oh, I was wearing this necklace because I was really proud of my sobriety, because to me, this is like, this is a reminder of my sobriety and not needing, like, doing what's right behind closed doors where no one can see me and no one can give me credit but me. Because I know my subconscious, Big Mama, is always watching. Always. And I can't run and I can't escape. So, don't be afraid. The point is, she saw this, she flipped out, she told her husband, and this guy, because I went back to the house, huge ass Viking motherfucker. Man, this guy, he was like that rooster. And he had on the back of his truck Lamb of God stuff, and he was into the Bible, and oh my God, he saw this necklace and he went off on me. He's like, "You need to take out that fucking necklace." And I'm like, "Oh my God." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, sir." And then he gave me all his shit and all his scriptures telling me I'm a demonic bitch. And oh my God. And I had compassion for him because I knew he was just afraid. And I knew that he had gotten on YouTube and probably was like a another moth to the flame of information. That disinformation, a moth to the disinformation flame. And I immediately saw myself, and because we're all just mirrors, and I knew, because in 2012 I went down the rabbit hole on like the December 21st 2012. Oh my God, we're gonna die. If you were alive back then, you remember like all this propaganda about like the end of the world. Well, it kind of was the end of the world as we know it. This is the new world. We're creating a new world. It's just the old paradigm is over. It's gone. And now I'm going to help you bridge this gap. I'm your helpful guide across the bridge of awareness. Because we shouldn't fear that. I know it's on the back of a dollar bill. I know there's secret societies, but the more we fear these secret societies, the more we block ourselves up from our own enlightenment. Because that's all this really means. It just means enlightenment. And you don't want to fear these symbols because it keeps you from becoming enlightened when you're like scared of it because you don't understand it. So I get back there and he's screaming at me, telling me that I need to, if I knew anything, I should take that necklace off. And then I told him, I'm sorry, sir. To me, this means that there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and that I'm always watching. I tried to tell him. And then he kind of just like got silent and he saw my perspective. But I know what it's like to be afraid, and I just feel like there's so much shit information out there of people who are just scared, who don't understand this stuff, and I do. And I'm really excited because like I see it really clearly and it's like my thing. And I just haven't known how to communicate it, but I do now. So today's my birthday, actually. It's my solar return. Don't ask me how old I am because I think that's just, ladies don't talk of such things. This is a picture of my parents the night I was conceived. They were at a Oktoberfest. Yeah, Oktoberfest, and they fucked in a tent, and yeah, they were drunk. But they were married. Yeah. I love this picture. It's almost like they knew. They knew what they were doing. Anyway, so, I just want to show these pictures because I'm not going to scan them and put them up because I'm a child of the 80s and I think it's cool to have pictures. Those two got married just so they could have sex. Basically, they didn't love each other, but then my mom was depressed and she had me because she didn't know what else to do. And my dad, he worked and she didn't, and this is my dad. And then I just want to show these pictures because this is who I feel I really am. That's me at 3. I'm still this little kid. Like, that's still me. I mean, this is the age I was when I used to walk in the woods all by myself with a little dog. I would like sneak out of the house and walk in the woods by myself, and I feel like I've always been this journeying type of person in a shamanic way. I cannot stand it when people say, my journey. Oh, fuck you, man. Shut the fuck up. But, like, in a shamanic, like, a real, like, this whole consciousness is just, like, I don't know. I'm just an antenna, basically. And I just want to be used for the right purpose. So this is me and my Papa Smurf. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. Ooh, my nails. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, and they thought Smurfs were demonic, and they got my mom to go out and burn my Papa Smurf. Do you see that shit? Couldn't even have a Papa Smurf. What the fuck? Yes, I'm a former Jehovah's Witness. I'm recovering from it because they like get you to not be social at all, and so thank God for social media. I'm comfortable talking to a camera. The goal is to not have to edit my videos. I don't want to edit. I do want to edit my life though, and I think I've done so successfully because I'm aware of this. If you can get to know your big mama, because it's just the divine feminine, it's always on, it's always watching. When you go to sleep, it's your subconscious, it's always on. And if you could get to know your big mama, then that's when shit gets real, because you can actually start to hold yourself accountable and go towards the things that you know you need to do. You just know it. And the more drugs you do, the more junk food you eat, the more sex you have, the more comfort you seek, is just a distraction. You're just distracting yourself from the real work. And the goal is to love the work, to love it so much that you are the working. You're medicine for the world. I have good medicine, and I actively choose to watch people with intention who have good medicine. And I would love to join the family of good medicine people in this world, because it's full. There's so many of us, and if we all just we can all clean our area, you know. What I'm saying might reach someone if you're this far into it. My goal is to not edit my videos. I cannot spend my life editing my videos, but I really want to do this, and that's the only thing that's really held me back, because I don't want to sit over a computer to do this. Yeah. I just want to let it move to me and through me, and I can radiate it out and then connect. And you can have something to distract you that's not telling you what to think. Because you are the vision. You have your own vision. You have this inside of you. You have your own consciousness. And it's your own personal relationship with God, or the source, or divine intelligence, whatever you want to call it. It's something. It's something. It's it's a knowing. So it's no thing. I know a thing. And I want to share my nothing with you. So this has gone on really long. If you're still here, then oh shit! Fertilizer! Let me help you turn your shit into fertilizer, shall we? This is supposedly for your heart, to keep your heart centered.